450 papers in reputed journals having H index of 68 and a citation of more than 17,430. He is the innovator of many products and published more than 45 patents and granted 22 patents in the engineering and technology. He has received many funded projects for the institution. He has received Best Researchers Award from ISTE 2 times. He has received many awards from the Institution of Engineers, India, Computer Society of India, Indian Society for Non-Destructive Evaluation, etc. And the World Top 1% Reviewer Award from Publiance by Web of Science. He has guided more than 21 scholars to obtain their PhD in the field of material science and manufacturing engineering. He, through his untiring effort, crowded the institution within top 25 in area ranking, and the institution got accredited with the NBA and a NAC with the A+ grade. He has implemented renewable energy sources, drip irrigation process through Swachh Bharat. He has guided his students to participate in various co-green initiatives, national and international competitions. He executed the SDG goals with academics, curricular and co-curricular activities. Thus, he acted as a trend setter in the field of technical education. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Next, I invite, joining us is Dr. Priya Rachel, Head of the Department of Civil Engineering, SAEC, to introduce Mr. S. Srinivasan, CEO, Pixstone Images Private Limited.
Good morning all. It's my pleasant privilege to introduce Mr. Srinivasan, CEO, Pixstone Image Private Limited. Mr. Srinivasan is an engineering graduate and holds an MBA with over 35 years of experience in building and scaling diverse business across industries, including consumer durables, IT products and services, security softwares, and media and entertainment. His career spans a wide range of functions, including manufacturing, sales and marketing, business development, process and change management, and process governance. Knowing for his process-driven and strategical approach, Mr. Srinivasan specializes in building adaptable and scalable business models with a strong emphasis on creating ethical, value-driven organizations. His leadership philosophy is rooted in strong system, governance, and values rather than being limited by industry-specific convenience. Mr. Srinivasan has been an integral part of Pixstone's journey from over 15 years, having joined the company soon after its inception. He has played a pivotal role through its various phases of growth as well as a challenging period, including the COVID-19 pandemic and industry-wide strike. An active member of VES and AVGS community, Mr. Srinivasan has also served as a treasurer of Visual Effects Society. He is passionate about nurturing emerging talents and actively supports young artists through mentorship, capability building, and skill development initiatives at Pixstone. He is also an active member of the PEC alumni community and associated with Lee Banyan, an initiative dedicated to support deserving students of Pondicherry Engineering College, contributing to the welfare of the wider community. We welcome you, sir.
We are also delighted to have Dr. R. Radhika, Head of the Department VLSI, SAEC, to give an overview of the accolades of Dr. Sai Narayanan Gopalakrishnan Associate Vice President, HCL Tech.
Okay. It's my great privilege and honor to introduce our distinguished chief guest, Dr. G. Sayanarayanan, Associate Vice President, HCL Tech, a technology leader with rich experience in engineering, research, innovation, and industry-oriented technology development. He completed BE from Poonamallee University, ME from PSG College of Technology, PhD in image processing from University of Malaysia, and he holds over 50 US patent grants and has authored numerous technical books, chapters, and journal papers. He is an active leader and keynote speaker within technical associations such as IEEE Madras Section and ICT Academy. His areas of professional engagement encompass several emerging technology domains, including artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, signal processing, smart sensing, and advanced digital technologies. His experience in these areas is particularly significant in today's rapidly transforming technology development, which interdisciplinary knowledge and intelligent solutions are becoming essential for sustainable development. Dr. Sayanarayanan's extensive industry experience provides valuable insights into how these collaborations can be transformed into innovation, research partnerships, technology development, skill enhancement, and industry-ready talent. In the current era of artificial intelligence, semiconductor technologies, Internet of Things, smart systems, automation, advanced computing, and sustainable technologies, the expectations from engineering graduates are changing rapidly. Students are no longer expected merely to possess theoretical knowledge. They need to demonstrate problem-solving ability, innovation, creativity, communication skills, adaptability, interdisciplinary thinking, and the capacity to apply technology to real-world problems. Industry leaders such as Dr. Sayanarayanan play an important role in helping academic institutions understand these changing expectations. Their insights enable educators to continuously strengthen curricula, experiential learning, internships, industry projects, research collaborations, and skill development initiatives. On behalf of SA Engineering College, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to you for accepting our invitation and gracing this important occasion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. We are pleased to have Dr. R. Rohini, Head of the Department of MBA SAEC, to present a career summary of Dr. Malathi Jawahar, Senior Principal Scientist, CSIR.
Good morning to everyone. It is a privilege to introduce our chief guest, Dr. Malathi Jawahar. She is an accomplished chief scientist and professor at CSIR and CLIR with 3 decades of distinguished research experience in computer vision, image processing, deep learning, and artificial intelligence. She holds a PhD from Anna University, has 70 peer-reviewed publications, is a recipient of the Outstanding Young Scientist Award, and has received multiple Best Paper Awards from prestigious IEEE and Springer Conference. A globally recognized pioneer in AI-driven technologies, Dr. Jawahar has developed transformative solutions including computer vision-based automated leather systems, AI-enabled leather species classification, advanced quality control software, and AI-driven guide analysis system for diabetic food risk assessment. Through leading multiple national funded R&D projects with extensively national and international collaboration, her work seamlessly integrates artificial intelligence, image processing, and biomedical analysis to drive innovation across industrial efficiency, process optimization, quality assurance, and biomedical application. Her research contributes significantly to smart technology for sustainable development, advancing innovation in healthcare diagnostic, industrial automation with reduced resource consumption and sustainable manufacturing practices that minimize environmental impact while maintaining economic viability. Dr. Malathi Jawahar emphasized how emerging AI and computer vision technology can create tangible for industry, healthcare, and society. We are honored to have you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And bringing this distinguished panel to a fitting close, Dr. B.R. Tapas Babu, Professor and Head of the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, SAEC, who will extend a brief primer to Dr. T. Rakesh, Scientist, DAC.
Good morning, everyone. It is my great pleasure and privilege to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to our distinguished guest, Dr. T. Rakesh, Senior Principal Officer in the Center for Development of Advanced Computing, CDAC, Chennai. He has been working in the areas of open source software security in virtual labs, and also he is working in CISS/ISMS LA related qualifications, and his main area is, as I already mentioned, open source software security virtual labs. I am sorry, sir, with the short time we were able to collect only this much details about you. Still, we are very much honored on behalf of SA Engineering College taking our esteemed invitation. Your senior member, I believe, Dr. Kailash, has replaced you for this conclave. I thank Mr. Rakesh to be available here on behalf of everyone and the organizing committee of the conference. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Coming together is a beginning. Staying together is progress. Working together is success. We now move into the heart of this conclave, a candid conversation titled Empowering the Next Generation, Industry and Academic Collaboration for Sustainable Solutions. This conclave will be moderated by Professor Dr. M. Nalini from the Department of Cybersecurity and Professor G. Prabhakaran from the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Over to our moderators and our distinguished panel.
Thank you. Good morning to everyone. Respected dignitaries on the dais, distinguished panelists, faculty members, researchers and industry professionals and their students. A very warm welcome to this special conclave section. It's my privilege and honor to moderate today's panel discussion on empowering. It's my privilege and honor to moderate today's panel discussion on empowering the next generation academic, government, and industry collaboration for sustainable solutions. The real question before us today is not simply what is sustainable development. The more important question is how do we collectively empower the next generation to create sustainable solutions that move from ideas and research laboratories into society. And I believe our distinguished panel today brings together precisely these different perspectives. So, welcome all the panelists for this session. First, my question is begin with Dr. Radha ma'am. Let us begin with you, ma'am. As academic institutions are preparing students for rapidly challenging world, sustainability needs to become more than a topic in the curriculum. The question is, how can academic institutions play a stronger role in preparing the next generation to address sustainability challenges?
Good morning to all. Thank you for the opportunities for us to be here. The relevant question here is, how do you, being an academicians, how can you inculcate this, that short way I'm just trying to say that how can we inculcate the sustainability concept among the students? Yes, it is important today context because we need to inculcate the sustainabilities beyond the classroom teaching. That is, as a one subject, I feel it is not sufficient to give an information to the students. We need to inculcate in all parts of their life. In not only in the means, I think in the educations, right, in the classroom teachings, we need to educate them in how the sustainability is applicable to in all disciplines, whatever they learn. And not only that, they should also do the problem-based learning, that is by doing the project, right, which is really useful to the society, and also think about how the sustainability issues are brought into that and addressed. Not like just the problems, right, whatever is already people have addressed and already people have done, and the same thing repeating is not going to help us. Lot of societal challenges are available for the next generation to live happily in this planet. So now it is our responsibility to inculcate those challenges in the curriculum as a problem and as a project, so that they will learn through the curriculum. That is, as an academician, we should do the students. This is what I feel. Not only as a one subject introducing in their curriculum and tell about what is the sustainability, how to address the challenges of the sustainability. Instead of that, because they are going to learn 4 years, multiple subjects in different specializations or different electives, whatever we call it as, in every domain, right, the disciplines, whatever you learn, we need to understand how the sustainability concept can be brought in, and with that, what are the challenges are today we are facing it. And now we can propose the solutions in each day, right, as a like a problem-based learning, as I said, or project-based learning, experiential learning. There is so many words today we are talking about. So all those things we need to give it in the classroom teaching rather than just giving a teaching, the curriculum, whatever is said in the syllabus. That's what I feel.
Thank you, ma'am. So you have highlighted the important role of education in developing the next generation. Thank you. So moving from the broader role of academia, let us now look at the student experience from Dr. Palanikumar sir. Today engineers are expected not only to possess technical knowledge, but also to become innovators, problem solvers, and entrepreneurs. So my first question to you, sir, is how can engineering institutions integrate sustainability, innovation, and entrepreneurship into the learning experience of students?
Very good morning to one and all present here. The dignitaries on the dais, of the dais, and all. This is a very great opportunity for us to discuss about the sustainable development goals on smart technologies. So always the sustainable development goals is introduced by United Nations to have the sustainability throughout the world. So there are 17 goals discusses about the different ability and how we are able to have the sustainability in the world. Especially in the education sector, the sustainable development goals are now becoming very popular. And many colleges, they have introduced sustainable development goals, and the syllabus are formed based on this. Actually, we are mapping the sustainable development goals with this syllabus and also the projects, so that we are able to have the sustainability in syllabus, innovation, entrepreneurship, and everywhere. And also, if we are going to discuss about these sustainable goals, which is connected to our projects and other thing, really that is highly industry relevant. And also we have aware that sustainability is important thing in all the activities in our students' life or an institution. How we are going to maintain the sustainability, that is very, very important. Even if you are taking some of the branches of engineering, computer science and engineering or related field, every year the people are telling that there are lot of changes that is taking place in the world. Today we are using one technology. So when we have studied, at the time we have used basic and photon like that. But nowadays no people is using basic or photon. So lot of changes are taking place in the world. Now we are switching over from ordinary coding to artificial intelligence and related one. So in this situation, if we are able to introduce this sustainable development goals into our curriculum, practice and entrepreneurship, whatever we are developing through our engineering education, if it brings sustainability or use it for a longer time, definitely it will fetch very good results and the students are employable and they are able to develop their qualities in entrepreneurship and other related activities. Actually, all the students, they are studying to achieve either the placement or entrepreneur or higher studies. So these are possible if we are going to maintain the sustainability in our engineering curriculum, so that the sustainable development goals has to be integrated with our syllabus itself from the first, so that if we are going to teach to these students, definitely they are able to develop their final year projects and other projects in a sustainable nature, so that the sustainable development goals plays a very crucial role in the engineering education. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, next question is going to Dr. Malati Javahar ma'am. As a senior principal scientist with CSIR, you represent the research and the national innovation ecosystem. So my question is to you, ma'am, what role can scientific research and innovation play in addressing the major sustainability challenges faced by the society today, ma'am?
Very good afternoon to one and all. It's a pleasure for me to be part of this conclave. So when I heard the question about how a research can be play a vital role for developing a sustainable solutions, when you look at research, it is research. You search what is already been done, so you have to what is available for the other industry. When you look at you all know how automation is happening in Tesla, for example. It is an autonomous vehicle that has been done. But there are industries like traditional industries like leather, as well as many manufacturing industries where it looks for automation so that the sustainability can be achieved. So here, one area which I would like for all the manufacturing industries is quality assessment. Even in electronic industry, it has been semiconductors. If you see, all the chip manufacturing industries are into automation, but we need to reinvent this wheel to the place where it has not been done. This is one area which requires automation. When we deal with real world problems, there are a lot of challenges, like it is not that easy when you work with a medical open data set, but when you work with a real manufacturing related real world problems, there is complexity, but it also shows an opportunity how an automation can be done. So this is a way in which we can go forward into innovation and apply our scientific, reinvent the wheel so that we can achieve sustainability for the society. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So now let us bring the discussion into the world of advanced digital technologies. So welcome Dr. Kailas. Technologies such as AI, high performance computing, digital platform, cyber security and advanced digital system are transforming almost in every sector. So my first question is to you, sir. How can advanced digital technology and government supported R&D initiatives contribute to achieving the sustainable development goals?
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity here. Let us take few sectors which stands out. One is the space technology. Another we can take us way back, the Green Revolution. So, and the kind of impact this has seriously created in everybody's life is so immense. Imagine a day where we cannot communicate with each other, right? Everybody has a smartphone. We think the enablement of smartphone is done by a private companies build smart manufacturing and as well as the software which is built. But years before, a space program for indigenous access to space technology really changed the way India is communicating today, right? And so is the agriculture technology. So today it may not be a surprise if we reintroduce green revolution with green technology revolution. Who can seriously plug these gaps? Heavy investments. A study research literally says if a government invests 1% incrementally in research and development, it could give a return of 0.61% in the GDP. Look at the ratio. And this kind of impact is created by the government where private sectors go behind immediate return of investments. Let us take another example where I come from, Center for Development of Advanced Computing, and which has been a debate since 50 to 60 years, developing our own electronic hub or a chip. So today if you take the chip manufacturing involves roughly 4 to 5 countries and 8 private sector industries. And these industries involve, for example, if a chip has to be manufactured, right? The fabrication, the ACMC happens in Netherlands. The ink which is supplied happens in Japan. The laser, the light source happens to be an American company. And again, the quality ma'am was mentioning happens to be another Japanese company. Now, post-COVID, we had a huge problem. The problem because of the remote and technology-intensive learning, technology-intensive access to commodities, the whole supply chain was broken down. That's when government realized, thinking there was a supply chain issue because of the chip manufacturing. So government interferes in such policy making as well as bringing in partners in manufacturing to ecosystem. Now we have ESDM policy to bring all this chip manufacturing into the country. I'm just giving one example. And we think government as a regulator generally or a moderator, but we often miss to see government becomes an enabler of bringing in multi-stakeholders into an ecosystem. So one of the common issue we have is how do this platform enables different stakeholders in a unified way. One is policy, one is manufacturing ecosystem, one is skill development, one is large scale transformation of lab to productization. In this way, the government initiatives play a role. Government becomes one of the largest investors, and government becomes a platform enabling aspirants, ecosystem developments, and the end user. And this has changed historically, and India also plays a very epitome role in upbringing newer technologies into act. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So let us look at the future from the perspective of the global technology industries. So on the theme of future skills and technology, so I welcome Dr. Sai Narayanan sir, Scientist, Associate Vice President, HCL Technology. So we are witnessing the rapid developments in AI, cloud computing, cyber security, automation and digital transformation. So I'd like to ask a first question to sir, how can the industry, IT industry and academic institutions collaborate to develop technology solutions that support the sustainability, sir?
Good afternoon all. Thanks for this opportunity. See, I would like to see this problem statement in a type of a reverse way. We are talking about smart technology for sustainability, but the technology which are used for these smart technologies like AI or any data engineering type, right? That itself creating a lot of load on the sustainability. So first thing we need to see is like how to make the smart technology sustain by itself, right? If you take about any AI computing, it is creating a lot of computing power. It is putting a lot of stress on power, water, because when you have a data center, whatever the computation happens, there is a lot of heat generator. To cool that, lot of water being used, right? So it is been like a lot of stress is created because of this new technologies. So whatever is being done, right? How to make it sustainable? How to run this computation load when the grid is green, right? Or how to distribute this computation instead of a data center thing, how it can be done at the edge. Because when you do it in the edge, you don't need that power or that cooling things to be done, right? If you talk to any air conditioner manufacturers, their major order are coming from the data centers nowadays, because to make a lot of cooling, once you run lot of air conditioner, again there is going to be a direct impact on the environment, right? So how to get this problem solved, right? That is a very tough problem, and we are talking about how to use this smart technology for sustainability, but first we need to solve how to make this technology sustainable, right? So in terms of IT industries or in terms of academic, we need to focus on how to, there has to be a big shift in the way we write programs, right? Mainly like earlier we used to write programs for embedded systems where we'll be very cautious on how much of memory to be used, how much of computing to be used. Now we are in a type of a very lavish, computationally very lavish we are. We have a high computing, we have a high end servers, and that approach has to be reversed. Again, like how to make things very efficiently, how to write things memory aware, how to write to be a carbon aware, energy aware, right? That type of things has to be embedded into the curriculum, embedded into the normal, the projects, assignments, whatever the students are doing, how to make it, instead of, we need to have a shift from how any project is innovative to how it is responsible, how we are doing things responsible to the environment, right? That is a focus we need to shift on every technology, and that has to be embedded into everything what the student do now, right? That is the point I want to convey. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So we have here from academia and research institutions and government-supported technology ecosystem. Now let us bring the industry and entrepreneurship perspective into the conversation. So I would like to welcome Mr. Srinivasan, the CEO of Pixstone Images Private Limited, sir. Welcome, sir. So, sir, my first question is from an industry and entrepreneurship perspective, how can young innovators develop sustainable business solutions using emerging technologies.
Thank you. Good afternoon, all. It's a privilege to be part of this conclave, and thanks for the dignitaries and respected student. I would like to ask a question. How many people would like to be an entrepreneur after end of this your curriculum? You can raise your hands. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Very few. Anyhow, so I would like to ask one more question. How many of you think you need a brilliant idea before you become an entrepreneur? How many of you think a brilliant idea is needed to be an entrepreneur? Okay. I think like I'll take this and I'll tell you, I disagree with this particular statement. Entrepreneur doesn't always have to have a good idea. Actually, like he has to find out a problem which has not been seen or which has not been felt by others. Okay. I would like to tell you how many people have been to railway station. Okay. Have you guys used railway station toilet? No? Yeah, somebody has used. I think you would know the precarious situation of the railway station toilet, correct? Yeah. So, one gentleman by name Bhupati PL, I think who is the MD of Nature Sani, I think he wants to use the public toilet in the railway station. When he went, and I think like it was so pathetic, and then he was, it's not in a usable situation. He identified that as a problem, and then he made a waterless, odorless toilet, which has been considered and it's been rolled out in most of the railways by Swachh Bharat. Okay? Here we talked about good ideas or a problem. The problem can be the solution where you can be an entrepreneur. Okay? So I think like in terms of the sustainability, what we are talking about in terms of innovation, I would like to just touch upon the problem what has been in front of us is going to take us to the next level. And second one is like we talked about sustainability. I think like when I used to go to Europe and I think like always people talk about sustainability. We always think sustainability to be part of the business plan in the growth. When we make money, like we'll be going to do that. But in the near future or in the coming days, we have to consider sustainability as a part of the solution itself. Okay. I'll once again talk about a lot of engineering or challenges which has been there. Like India being an agriculture country where a lot of farmers, like we use water, we use pesticide, we use fertilizers, and then do so many things. And then there is one which is drone which has come in, correct? So drone was done for various purpose, but somebody got into the idea of how sustainable this can be used to reduce the consumption of water and also be effective in terms of using the pesticides as a chemical and increase the productivity. And then the recent research which has been published by the government, I think like it has increased the productivity by around 35% and then reduced the water consumption by around 70%. This about 2025 National Startup Award highlights data. So the next point like which I would like to touch upon is leveraging the technology. We have got enough things in our plate. How we want to pick, choose is something like which is important for being a smart entrepreneur. And next one is like in terms of measuring the outcome, not the technology. Everybody thinks about like how we can adapt technology, but I would like to strongly say being an entrepreneur, like outcome is far more important than usage of the technology. Last but not the least, being the in the entrepreneurial space, whatever we do, I think like you don't confine yourself to be usable for India. Think about global, okay? And that is something like which is important in terms of building, so that like this topic of what we talked about, sustainable, innovative, smart technology implementation can be achieved, I think, by each one of you. Okay? Thank you for the opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. So I go with Dr. Radha ma'am. Sir, ma'am, previously you highlighted the important role of education in developing the next generation. So let me take that thought one step further. I would like to ask you the another question is what changes in higher education and curriculum are needed to better align students with industry and societal need for the sustainable development, ma'am?
Yeah, it is also related to the curriculum. Being an academician, we are in a position to define the curriculum. Today, I think what is needed for the industry, right? So that our students get placed. But that should not be the scenario. Exactly, we should not train our students to particular to one industry, because it should be at the broad perspectively we have to do in the curriculum, so that they will be suitable to all the industries. For example, the curriculum should be more flexible, and it should be interdisciplinary learning should be there. And also we need to provide experiential learning throughout their curriculum, instead of just mere teaching in the classroom and then learning through that. So they should also experience while learning the curriculum, so that lot of practical components we have to introduce. And then the curriculum should be future oriented one. These are the 4 things I would like to say that currently I think we need to relook into our curriculum. Are we accommodating all these 4 items? Because for example, interdisciplinary learning, how we can bring it into the curriculum. We will be introducing a lot of open electives and minor courses we can introduce, so that student can opt for some other department subject. Maybe we will specify some of the credits, minimum credits they can be given, and so that can be inbuilt in our the regular degree credit which is needed to get your degree. So if that such a flexibility, if you allow them instead of over and above and going and learning, if you imbibe everything into the curriculum, the students will get an opportunity to learn as an interdisciplinary learning rather than learning through a particular discipline. So this, if you do it, I think the students will become ready for the industry. Not only that, we can also give a platform for them to work as an interdisciplinary projects, right? So that also, if you bring it in a curriculum, that will help the students to learn in a particular, not only in one domain, they will also learn from the other students, because they come with a different specialization. But when both of them, either that as a team, when they work, right, they learn each other. So that will also help them to place in the proper industry, right? So these things, if we bring into our curriculum, then the students' learning will become not only they learn the subject knowledge as a knowledge, they'll also get skills related to that subject, and they will also learn where we can apply this concept, right? When you combinedly working in the project, right, 4 or 5 people are working in a bigger problem. So you will also know the applicability of the problems, applicability of your subject knowledge, and then finally you bring a value to the society. So this is what I want to say. And also, if possible, you can bring the more industry people to teach your curriculum, so that the perspective of teaching is entirely different from how a teacher will teach. So you'll have a mix. Students will also get a mixed learning from the academician as well as the industry perspective. The students' learning will become enhanced. So this is what I want to say. So we need to redefine or look into your curriculum, so that it will attract all the needs of the today's context. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Sir, we often talk about technical skills, but successful innovation also requires a right mindset, sir. So I like to ask Mr. Srinivasan, sir, my second question is, what are the key skills and mindset that the students should develop to become successful innovators and entrepreneurs in a rapidly changing digital world?
I think once again, let me get into it. Most of you know about Arjuna and Dronacharya story, correct? I think it's a classical example in terms of the skill set. I think a lot many learnings can be done. Then I will enumerate like what are the skills, like we have to look at it, how it has to be done. Okay. So, so when Dronacharya told like shoot, okay, I think to the students, everybody were looking at the tree, leaves, bird, and then one person, Arjuna, he was looking at the eye. I think like that's a target, that's a bullseye like which has been talked about. So that's something like which is very important for somebody to stay focused and then somebody to be very clear in terms of the objective, what you want to achieve, okay. Today, if you look at it like you have AI, blockchain, robotics, quantum computing, drones, cyber security, cloud, AR, VR, you've got everything in front of you. What is it like you want to use, how you want to use it? I think that's very important in terms of one has to be a successful entrepreneur. And some of the skill set like I thought like I'll tell you like which is not in the routine. It's couple of things like which I feel is like the curiosity. I think like one has to develop a curiosity in terms of knowing what is new, how it has to be, and then how it can be applied, and then how it can be used. That's something like which as a young budding guys like you should concentrate on. And also I think I touched upon in terms of the problem solving. I think like where we talked about how one has to look at it, what are the problem in front of us, and then how we can bring out solution using the technology so that like it becomes a worldwide adaptable solution. And the next one I would like to touch upon in the skill is adaptability. When I'm talking about adaptability, see today technology will become obsolete tomorrow. I think whatever our professor here, he talked about photon, basic, today it's not relevant. I think today we are talking about AML, how far like it's going to be tomorrow, we really don't know. I think like, but however, as an individual, like we should be able to have the core engineering, core subject to be rooted so that like any technology comes in, like we should be able to have a solutions on this. And the next part is in terms of the communication. I think like particularly being an entrepreneur, then you be to be successful, how communicative you are with your colleagues, with your customer, with your vendors, and then you have to deal with several people in the ecosystem. So communication plays a very important role in being successful as an entrepreneur. And the next one is the collaboration. I just touched upon collaborations and things like that. Last, I would like to talk about integrity. I think like that's something like which is very important for somebody to be deep rooted to have your fundamentals. AI cannot give integrity. I think like technology cannot give integrity. I think you can be part of being integral in terms of what you have been doing it. That's very important and then key to be successful as an entrepreneur and then to be successful in the sustainable world, in the highly competitive world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So the technologies that students learn today evolve significantly by the time they enter the workspace. So I'd like to ask Dr. Sai Narayanan sir, so the another question is, how can what emerging technology skills should students develop to meet the future requirements of the IT industry while contributing to the sustainable development, sir?
Thank you, sir. See, now if you ask me what skill students should learn how to learn, because things are changing very rapidly and you need to be like, even as a part of your course, right, or I think any new technology or any new field may not be relevant. If a student studying computer science, right, bringing a topic in mechanical engineering or bringing a topic from electrical engineering and asking them to learn how quickly they can come up with that. That is what the skill is required, because if you have a 4-year curriculum and you learn certain tools, when you are come out, that tool is almost fading and there's a new tool is coming up. So more than a tool, the core, the fundamentals, what you learn, right, that is more important. If you are strong in fundamentals and have the ability to learn any tool, right, that will make you sustain for long. And you should have your, I would call it as a profile or your skill set, more like we call it as a T-shaped profile. T-shaped profile means having a knowledge in a broader area, but having a depth in one single domain. having a depth in one single domain is very, very important. But at the same time, having knowledge in broader is also very important. So, and when we talk about a lot of collaboration with industry and academia, many times you start with an MOU, you'll have an occasional guest lecture or everything. But more than all these things, right, I would say you need to create a real problem bank. What I mean, like when you have someone from industry or when you interact, get a type of a problem statement which industry is praying, create a problem bank and give that refresh that problem bank every 3 years, because after 3 years suddenly it's going to be a thing. When you create the problem bank and have the student to adapt with new tools to solve it regularly, right? Or when they do a mini project or anything, that will be the one what the student should be. Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Your perspective highlights something extremely important. The future belongs not simply to those who know technology, but to those who can continuously learn, adopt, and apply technology with the responsibilities. Thank you, sir. So we often say that students should solve the real world problems. So I'd like to ask a question to Dr. Palanikumar sir. So what role can academic institutions play in developing practical solutions for local and global sustainable challenges, sir?
Actually, if the institution is able to develop according to the global standards, definitely we are able to achieve this. Especially, we must have to use the sustainable technologies in developing the educational institutions, like green environment and sustainable green energy and sustainable green water development, effective use of water, and everything must be included, so that it can be developed as a global educational institution. Not only in that, in teaching and learning process, we must have to introduce green skills, life habits, and global view. If you are introducing the global view, inculcating these green skills and life habits, definitely we are able to convert our institutions into the global institutions. Also, the campus operation must be clean, and we must have to reduce the wastage, so that if you want to convert our campus into the sustainable campus, it must have zero waste. And also we have smart water line, so you are able to reduce the water consumption. If you are reducing the water consumption, automatically we are able to bring the sustainability. And also in the research and development, we have to find the new technology and data tracking and global partnership and global technological development. If you are going to have these kind of technologies in our institutions, definitely we are able to build our institutions as one of the best institutions having the sustainable development, and also in the global scenario, we are able to establish the best institution. Thank you.
Well said, sir. Thank you, sir. So that brings out a powerful idea from sir. Innovation becomes meaningful when it addresses the real world problems, and entrepreneurship becomes sustainable when it creates lasting the societal value. Thank you, sir. So we have excellent research institutions, universities, and young researchers in the country, but the challenge is often connecting these different ecosystems. So I would like to ask a question to Dr. Malati Jawahar ma'am. So how can government research institutions and academic institutions collaborate more effectively to encourage students towards research and innovation for sustainable development, ma'am?
Let me answer with a real problem what we did. Many of you think animals are killed for leather. It's not true. Animals are killed for their meat. So what is thrown as waste is what has been added value and been made as a leather. So when we look at the leather industry, normally the four animals, cow, buffalo, goat, sheep are the four animals that has been used for making leather. So we had a problem where we want to identify the species. Like for example, even if you go to a shop to buy a bag or a shoe, so you want to know whether it is a leather or it is non-leather. This is a very common problem. So what we did is, we had a collaborative work. This is with an academic institution where we found how to identify the species based on the microscopic. The domain knowledge was with us. We want the hardware and the software collaboration to be given to us. So we had a collaboration with the academic institution. So this is an example, like any technology or any innovation that is being developed, it cannot be done in a silo. You need all the institutions to participate. As a research institution, you have your problem statement, you have your domain expertise. You need to tap the strength of the other academic institution which has its student, the bright minds are there, so that we can collaborate together. And this is an example where we had a collaborative research project that we have successfully done, and we in fact developed a handheld microscope where it can be used to identify this.
Thank you, ma'am. So your response reminds us the research should not end with the publications. The ultimate goal is knowledge that creates technology, technology that creates solutions, and solutions that create a societal impact, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So, CDAC has an important role in connecting advanced technology with a national requirement. So I would like to ask to Dr. S. Kailas sir. My second question is, what role can institutions such as CDAC play in strengthening the collaboration among government, industry, and academia, sir?
Yeah, so let me put a quick survey here. To all of you, I wish I have some participation. How many of you know there is something called India AI Mission? India AI Mission. Just one hand up. Yeah, two. So how many of you know there is something called Semiconductor Mission? The same hand is up. One more new hand. Right? So how many of you know India has a supercomputer? Come on, I should see more hands now. Okay. So this is exactly from government's R&D perspective in technology we try to do. So there are niche technology, especially the compute powers, is not democratized, which means if any one of you have great idea, or like Srinivas sir just introduced, if you have a problem to solve, you may not have access to infrastructure, right? So I'm a little surprised to know such a mission exists, but its outreach hasn't reached. If you have any of these and you want compute nodes, let's say you have a quantum grade problem to be solved, but you don't have access to infrastructure. So Ministry of Electronics IT through CDAC provision these infrastructure to us, to all of you. It could be academics, it could be startups, it could be medium and small scale enterprises. It could be even individuals who have a great problem statement, but they don't have access to infrastructure. So you walk in, you connect with us, any of these platforms, try to solve yourself, right? So technically, we create an ecosystem where heavy investment-rich infrastructure is made accessible to all of you. And this is the kind of role as an enabler the government has been pitching in last 4 to 5 years, since we felt we need to heavily invest in semiconductor mission, right? So there are only 3 companies in the world. One is Cadence and another one is Synopsys, who create EDA grade softwares. What is EDA? If you want to create a small chip, if you want to design, there is a software which is used to develop, right? These are super expensive. India has scaled immensely in developing software as a solution, an industry which is roughly 20% contribution to our GDP. But these softwares are not accessible. So we make them accessible. The ministry makes them accessible to anyone who seriously wants to design chips, design components, take it to fab, and that is the kind of ecosystem the government seriously bridges academia, industries, and different stakeholders. So you should be aware of such programs in place so that you can walk to us, make a request, and make use of those facilities, right? Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So the message is very clear from this discussion that technologies of tomorrow require not only the technological knowledge, but also the ability to understand the national and societal challenges impact, sir. Thank you, sir. So thank you very much to all our distinguished panelists for those inspiring thoughts. If I may summarize today's discussion in a few words, education gives us knowledge, research gives us new possibilities, technology gives us powerful tool, industry gives us scalability, government gives us direction and an enabling ecosystem, but collaboration gives us impact, and most importantly, young minds gives us the possibility of better future. So the message from today's discussion is therefore very clear. Sustainable development is not a destination, but one institution, one industry, and one government can achieve alone. It is a collective journey powered by knowledge, innovation, technology, and collaboration. On behalf of SA Engineering College and the organizing team of ICSTSDG 2026, I sincerely thank our distinguished panelists for sharing their valuable insight and experiences and vision with us. I also thank the organizers, faculty members, researchers, and most importantly, our students for being an enthusiast audience. So here, the ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving our distinguished panelists a big round of applause for an enriching and thought-provoking discussion. Thank you, and wishing everyone a meaningful and sustainable journey ahead.
That was indeed a great discussion. Thank you so much, everyone. What a rich exchange of ideas to carry us into the afternoon. Thanks to our esteemed speakers and moderators for bringing the ideas together to the limelight.
It is time to honor the esteemed keynote speakers. We are waiting for the principal to honor the keynote speakers. Kindly maintain silence.
Guys, few minutes before principal come in, I thought like I have prepared few words. I thought like I'll share it with you guys. See, I have spent about a couple of decades in terms of manufacturing, I think like in IT security, and then software development, media entertainment. Now, my biggest learning is that technology is rarely the biggest constraint. The biggest constraint is our ability to bring technology, people, process, and business together. I think like this is going to be key when you people go into the business and then when you go into a corporate world, how adapting the processes, people, and together is very important. And second one is like I would like to just touch upon India doesn't have shortage of intelligence. We have shortage of no engineers, researchers, or entrepreneurs. What we need is a strong connectivity between them. I think like today, we are all on silos. I think like where we have to go on and connect, ensure like we are able to make India in the global map. And the second one is if our universities generate knowledge, our entrepreneurs convert it into products, our industries scale it, and then the government creates the enabling environment. India has every opportunity become not just world's technology back office, but one of the world's technology innovation center. And then I would like to just touch upon the next Google, next ISRO, next UPI, next breakthrough in AI, energy, health, or climatic changes might be sitting in the auditorium. Our responsibility to create an ecosystem that allows the ideas to become a reality. Thank you so much. Thanks for your patience. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. That was insightful. It is time to honor the eminent panel that brings together 6 of the finest minds spanning academia, industry, and research, a true confluence of perspectives on sustainable innovation. I humbly request our respected principal, Dr. S. Ramachandran, to honor the keynote speakers with a shawl and memento.
Good food is the foundation of genuine happiness. On that note, we break for lunch. All the participants, HODs and dignitaries, please proceed to the dining hall and we shall reassemble for the paper presentation session in the respective venues. The venue details are present in your respective participation kit. Thank you.